So you're racing Gran Turismo 7, you're about to set up a sweet overtake. Here we go, we're at Trial Mountain, sport mode, all single player, and then bang, this happens. Oh, it's so frustrating. Is this going to be the future of Gran Turismo 7? Let's talk about it. I'm going to talk about the pros, I'm going to talk about the cons. Now, if you didn't know, Gran Turismo 7 is going to be an online-only game. So if you want to play single player in Gran Turismo 7, you need to have an internet connection. If you don't have an internet connection, you basically won't be able to play Gran Turismo 7. Now, if that's absolutely breaking news to you, do make sure to subscribe to the channel because we're covering all these sorts of stories for GT7. And if you knew it already, well, you've clearly been watching my videos. You're an absolute pro, so good on you. But let's talk about the pros, talk about the cons. And I'm going to cut some here because I'm going to try and give a pro for online only. Now, I want to go back to GT Sport. This is a predecessor to GT7. GT Sport is also an online only game. And let's just think for a moment. Isn't it pretty incredible that, and I've raced sometimes at the very top level in GT Sport and multiplayer online, isn't it incredible that there's no cheating as far as I'm aware in sport mode? There's no hacking. There's no exploits where people are upgrading the characteristics of their car. Now, my background actually is I used to play a lot of first-person shooters on my PC back in the day, talking like Battlefield 2 and Call of Duty back then. And those games online were always played by hackers and cheaters. When you think about it, it's pretty mad that we've had 4 years of GT Sport and we've had no hacking or cheating in sport mode. Really safeguards the integrity of the FIA Esports Championship and also sport mode generally. And that's because, as an online game, Polyphony can verify the integrity of everyone's save file. So everyone's save files are checked online server side, and it means that people can't hack their save files to give their cars extra horsepower, etc. So people can't go into a sport mode race and their car is more powerful or is lighter or is both than anyone else's. So that is a benefit of online only, but I'm going to counterpoint this immediately because Gran Turismo 7 is going to be a return to the old school Gran Turismo style games. There's going to be a really strong emphasis on single player and collecting your cars, upgrading your cars, getting used cars, etc. Now, is it really a problem for single player players to not be able to upgrade their save files or not be able to modify their save files? I don't know. But it seems as though to protect the online experience, anyone who wants to play single player is going to need to be permanently online. Now, do let me know in the comments, does this affect you? Are you someone that would buy Gran Turismo 7, but you're having second thoughts because you're not lucky enough to have the best internet connection, or you don't have an internet connection with your console? Do let me know in the comments. I think it'd be really interesting to hear from you. Well, I'm going to give another pro for online only. I want to be balanced here. I want to give both sides of the argument. I think for GT7, another positive for being online only is that it may help with the streaming and the detailing of the dynamic weather. So Polyphony have talked a lot about how detailed their dynamic weather is going to be, all of the different volumetric effects, taking data from NASA, etc. That's going to be quite CPU intensive on your PS5 or your PS4. So people are wondering, well, how's Gran Turismo 7 going to play on the PS4? How's it going to look? Well, if Polyphony can shift some of the burden of processing that dynamic weather, processing the effects, etc., to the cloud server side, then they can stream that to your PS4 as you're playing. And actually, this could be a real benefit to PS4 owners. You might be actually getting more of the dynamic weather and that kind of detailing than we'd feared when we originally heard that GT7 was going to be a cross-platform game across PS5 or PS4. So what are your thoughts about that? Don't think anyone's really talking about that, but I think that is another benefit of GT7 being online only. Now, I've been quite positive so far, but it's time to talk about the big two. And these really are the big two, and they are negative, and they're quite a big deal. So obviously, firstly, if you even want to play Gran Turismo 7, and by the way, strictly, this is for any game mode apart from arcade, and arcade is a very stripped down version of GT7, or a very stripped down mode within GT7. But if you want to do anything else in GT7, you need to be online. If you're not online, you won't be able to play. Now, that's quite a big deal. The other part of it is, what happens when GT7 reaches end of life? What happens when GT8 comes out and GT8 is £100 standard edition to buy and people are still enjoying GT7? What happens then? Do the servers get turned off? Hopefully there's some kind of patch that makes GT7 playable offline at the end of line. We will find out, I think, with what Polyphony do with GT Sport. So if you're really concerned about the online only, maybe wait to see what happens with GT Sport. Are they going to patch it so you can suddenly play offline? Are they just going to turn the servers off? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you on this one, which is perhaps a little bit worrying. But again, I want to throw one last counterpoint. So this is another. I'm not sure it's a pro, but I'm just going to throw it out there. How many people are playing on their PS5 without an internet connection? Because this isn't 2004 anymore. This isn't 2005. We're not talking about PS2 Gran Turismo 4. I'm making this video in 2021, and the PS5 is clearly a console designed with online connectivity, just running all the way through it. So how many people are playing on the PS5 without an internet connection? I don't know. Personally, I'm playing on an internet connection. I'm only really playing GT Sport online. So this is not a big deal for me, actually. It's not a big deal for me. But I feel like it might be a big deal for a lot of people in the community. So do let me know what you think about Gran Turismo 7 being online only. If this is the first time you've heard of it being online only, please do drop a subscribe so we can keep you up to date with everything else. It's good to have you. And to anyone else who's already enjoying this video, liking, subscribing, watching, I appreciate you. And I'll see you on the other side. Happy racing.